Welcome back to The Dish with Chase and Ben. I am Chad.
And I am Glenn.
Tonight is a very special night. As you can see if you're watching the video, I have my beautiful, breathtaking Christmas tree up
Look
right
at
now.
it.
It's unbelievable.
You bought that last year, yeah?
No, I bought
2
it
years
a
ago?
couple years ago. Yeah, a couple years ago.
I'm so jealous of this tree.
It's really nice. It's a frosted tree. It's pre-lit.
Where did we go? Was it Lowe's?
Yes.
I think it was at Lowe's
Yes.
at like 12 or 13.
Probably.
Yeah.
It was a good deal.
We went in
Yeah.
because we were looking for a tree for you. And of course, we went together. And I immediately hated this tree because it's frosted. And I don't like it. It's just, it grosses me out. I have never liked a tree more than this tree. Like, it's so nice.
It does look really wintry and beautiful.
Turn your sound off on your phone.
It looks beautiful. But yeah, so Nev and I put the decorations up the other day.
You guys did a great job. It looks so nice.
Thank
it's
you.
so full. I haven't found the pickle yet. Did you put the pickle out
I couldn't
yet?
find the pickle. Ironically, because
It was hidden so well from last year.
I was going to say.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't
it looks
find the
so
pickle.
nice. It says naughty. You're not going to get any presents from
Well,
Santa
if you
Claus.
flip it, it says nice.
Well, yeah, you got to get presents. Burbot man. He's on the move.
Yeah, so
Ooh, I'm
we
cold.
decorated it. Took a day. It was good. And I have a lot of ornaments. And the thing is, with my ornaments, is most of them are like from my family members that are either not alive anymore or people that I hold dear to me, and I know who got me what. And it's really nice. Yeah.
I like the mushroom. I like the spaghetti. I like the little Kenton can.
My mom got me that cannoli.
I keep seeing the cannoli, and I like it.
I love the cannoli. I love the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I've got Carlos. You can see it probably right here. Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah.
Carlos is right here. Nana's above.
Nana's
my other
just
puppy
above.
dogs. And these red ones, so these guys
Yeah.
that are up here, these are my grandma's from when she was a child.
My God.
So they're from the 30s, which is insane.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Breathtaking.
And I
tree.
have all of them still. Like, they're all intact. They're all good. My mom gave them to me forever ago. They've survived
That-
multiple moves.
Oh,
yeah,
it gives
like,
me a tummy ache. That scares the hell out
I
of me.
love them. They're good accent bulbs. Just they
For
just
sure.
add, like, you know what I
it's
mean?
really
Yeah.
nice. Adds a fullness,
It
crispness.
does. I got Ted Lasso up there.
I forgot you had a Ted Lasso. I remember.
He
yeah,
talks.
and then you have the old school
Star Trek.
Star Trek ones.
I have Spock and Kirk. Yeah.
Where did we get those?
On separate occasions. We got one at an antique place.
We got it at the Royal Oak Farmers Market, didn't we?
Yeah.
We got one of them there.
Yeah. Yeah, we got Spock.
I think
there.
so.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I don't remember where I got
crazy.
Kirk, but yeah,
Gork.
I love ornaments and I love doing this. I really do.
What exactly is that right there?
It's a pear.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's a pear. There's another one.
Here's a snaky snake. God, you have
I have
really,
a little fruit. I have fruit up here in the fruit.
really,
I had
really
Dumbledore.
nice. I know. I saw him. But
I have an
Dumbledore.
astronaut. A cosmonaut, if you will. I love the pink slippers.
Everybody, name your favorite ornament in the comments below.
I'll give you $20 of Ben's money.
I don't have $20 to give. He wants to go out.
Let me just take a little.
Go ahead.
And I'm back. Just like that.
And just like that.
So I do have those. I don't know if you can see. Oh, you can kind of if I move. No. If you... Wait. Oh, they can't move. See them. I have also these really cool nutcrackers that my mom gave me. That
You have
were
a nice
like,
collection of
yeah,
nutcrackers.
they're nice. And they were when I was little. I had a few of them, which was really cool too. So
I had a nutcracker ornament on the tree that I loved, and I would like keep as like an action figure. It was funny.
my mom has like a ton of them.
Yeah.
And they're like...
I think those are cool.
They're good. You got to be really picky about where you
Yeah.
buy your ornaments. Well, ornaments too,
Nutcrackers.
honestly, but your
True.
nutcrackers too. I try to get my ornaments at Bronner's.
Yeah. Can't believe we haven't gone yet this
Magical Winter Wonderland.
I don't know.
Still
if
got
we're gonna
time.
get- I don't
Still
know.
got time. We're just going Christmas Day, dude. I don't think they're open.
That'd be a
That would be
nightmare.
cool if they
I think
were
it's one
kind
of like the 3 days that they're closed. But yeah, that's the Christmas tree.
This is the Christmas tree.
Chadwick, what movie are we talking about?
We are going to
today?
be talking about the classic, iconic film,
Classique.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation today with Chevy Chase. And that came out in 1989. It's a cool hour and 37 minutes long. Hilarious movie. Absolutely hilarious. Nostalgic. It's got a lot going on. It's long because there's a lot of development. So we'll have to get through this, relatively expeditiously.
We're going to touch on a lot of it as much as we can, but there's so many things that happen in this movie.
It is, and it's like, because I think too, like in this time period of movies, like you could fit a lot in. Like, and it's only an hour and a half, but it still is like, it feels like
we were watching it, and I was like, how is there still 20 minutes of this movie?
For sure.
It's like crazy.
It's crazy, but it is hilarious. So,
right now it is streaming as we are recording this podcast on December 10th. Nothing like last minute, folks. It is streaming on Hulu and on HBO Max, or Max now.
Surprised it's not on Tubi.
Seriously.
Disappointed Tubi.
And it's like playing in a lot of theaters, at least around us. So if you want to see this movie in theaters, I just took my mom to go see Elf.
Yes.
In theaters, which was fun. It was the first time I ever saw it.
It's really funny. It's nice. Fun. It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. That, like, I would definitely say, if you haven't watched it before, definitely watch this movie. It's totally worth it, and it'll definitely get you like in the Christmas spirit.
For sure.
I think it's very relatable to pretty much every person. Unless you literally don't have a family. So
yikes.
Batman.
A quick synopsis of the movie. The Griswold family's plans for a big family Christmas predictably turn into a big disaster. Chase, what's your relationship with this movie? When did you first watch it? Do you watch it every year?
I watch it at least once a year. I tend to watch holiday movies all year round.
Yeah.
I don't really like that situation. I probably saw this movie, I mean, I was a child.
Yeah.
Probably the first time I watched it. And I probably almost watched it every year since. Realistically.
Easily.
It is a good movie, and I think it's like a timeless one. My mom is sick of watching it, I think. She told me, but that's fine. But
my mom with another movie. Actually, I think it was the movie. What movie did this beat out? I think this beat out A Christmas Story. Let me see.
I think it did. Yeah.
Yeah, because
we did, because they were two classics.
Christmas
together.
Story, yeah. My mom is sick of Christmas
I wouldn't
Story.
say that I'm necessarily sick of it, but I don't see it every year.
My mom hates A Christmas Story.
I don't watch it every year.
She watches it too much.
It's a lot, yeah. But it's good. That's a good movie too.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, anyways, I would say I've watched it for a long time. I definitely have put it on. It's even one of those movies that I put on during the year where if I'm like having like a sad day or like want to feel good, and I know it's going to be definitely like 100% funny, so I put that on. But I will say too, like that being said, I also love. There's something in my eye.
I know there's something in your tummy.
I love the National Lampoon vacation movies, period.
Yeah.
They're hilarious in every way to me. And I think that it's just like, it's dated in a good way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think so I had never seen this movie before. I've never seen any of the National Lampoon vacation movies ever. I just saw this like 4 or 5 days ago for the first time.
Yeah,
and I kind of went into it and I was like, ugh, Chevy Chase, I don't really know if I'm really gonna enjoy this. But like the more I was watching it, I was like, honestly, if I watched this movie instead of like the first time I saw A Christmas Story, I would be so into it. Because that's the thing. I like my family watched A Christmas Story and it was like, okay, like this is my like old timey.
That's your nostalgia.
Yeah. So I don't have the nostalgia, which makes it a little more difficult to watch, but you watch it with an open mind and it's like, oh yeah, like this makes sense. Like I understand why people watch this
funny.
And love it. Yeah, I can definitely recognize it for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
Let's go over some fun facts about this movie.
Fun facts.
There's actually some pretty fun ones. First one that I have listed here. After failing to get the Christmas lights to work one last time, Clark Griswold takes his frustration out on the plastic decorations in the front yard. Chevy Chase actually broke his pinky finger while punching Santa Claus. He resorts to kicking and clubbing the decorations after that, and the film kept rolling, and the take was used. The take that he broke his pinky was used in the movie.
It was probably good and authentic.
For sure.
It's like when Leonardo DiCaprio like hits that thing in Django and he like really cuts his hand.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then he rubs blood all over that
So
one's
that's
face.
the thing. So I learned recently the blood that he rubs on her face isn't his blood.
Oh, good.
He like smashed his hand and kept going, and then they cut after that. So a lot of that like uncut shot is that his real blood.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
But then they like cleaned his hand, made sure he was okay, and it was fake blood. They liked the fact that happened, so then they wrote the blood into it.
Oh, that's cool.
I was gonna say it's like the one scene in Lord of the Rings: Two Towers when Aragorn kicks an Uruk-hai helmet. He did this take like over 20 times. He keeps kicking this helmet and they can't get the right reaction out of him. The last kick that he does, he breaks his toe. And he like screams because it hurt his toe so badly. And that's the take that they use.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's
Ew,
so funny.
breaking a toe would suck.
My mom has broken a lot of toes.
Yeah, that's gross.
Horses step on her feet.
Horses.
Another
fun fact in that movie is the shoes that Eddie gifts Clark in the Real Deal like vacation movie, which is a hilarious scene, honestly, because like so they're like white loafers. They're like white like pleather like fake loafers. And they're hot, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're sweet. But like also it's funny because he hands them to Clark in the first movie and he goes, he opens the box and he looks at me and goes, "Oh, Eddie, you really shouldn't have." And he goes, "I know, Clark, but you know, I see you eyeing mine all the time, so like I thought."
Oh my gosh!
So he wears those shoes. Eddie wears those shoes at the Halloween party. And I will say too, because this is like part of his outfit. In that scene, he's wearing like those and like black slacks. And then he has a white sweater on, and he has a dickie on, like that makes it look like he's wearing a black turtleneck, but you can see the square of the
through his sweater. It's so bad.
It's hilarious. Yeah, I love that. I wonder where you buy dickies at. Like, where would you get them?
Amazon.
Probably at Amazon.
Or,
we should get a few.
What's it called? Haberdashery.
Haberdashery.
They would definitely have one.
That sounds fancy.
It was rumored that Clark's rant about his boss, Mr. Shirley, was ad-libbed. While this is somewhat true, cast members not on screen who were facing Chevy had signs hanging around their necks that had a couple like words written on them. So basically,
he could
like
choose
while he's sitting there like naming off a slew of insults, he's just kind of looking around and picking them all out and just saying them, which honestly is great because when I saw that I was like, he is popping off, sis, but he's just like looking around reading them, but like acts it and like kind of like plays it off really, really well.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was cool too, honestly. That his boss is also played by Bill Murray's brother, his older brother.
Rest in peace.
He's not dead. I thought he was. I was wrong.
Ah.
Yeah, he's not
Way
dead.
to lie to
He's
me,
very
then.
old though.
As am I.
Like incredibly old. I don't remember his full name. And you know what's weird is that his last name, because when I was looking that up, his last name it's Doyle-Murray.
Yeah.
So I'm like, is he your stepbrother or something?
Or like a half brother.
Yeah, like I just thought that was kind of weird, honestly.
Stepbrother and half brother are the same thing? No, stepbrothers if they were.
Yeah, I was gonna say half brothers. You're not related at all, right? Or wait,
no, stepbrother, you're not blood related. Half brother, you're half like.
That's right.
Yeah,
yeah.
You have half siblings, James.
I do have many. I am one of many.
I don't know why I'm teaching you.
I'm one of 18. I'm just kidding.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, right.
Hit us with that last fun fact.
The last fun fact is that actually, so when things are going kind of haywire, and like his son Rusty, who is that guy from The Big Bang Theory,
who's the guy from The Big Bang Theory, the sexy one.
He's how old do you think he is in that movie? He's probably 14. He's probably like he's probably like
that's
14.
being generous. Yeah,
yeah. So he's a young kid. He looks kind of the same.
He does look kind of the same.
Yeah,
he looks a little bit more like. He's like rounder.
Sure,
and,
for
I
sure.
mean, younger
well, he's
looking.
little kid.
He doesn't have his giant glasses on.
Right, precious.
I want you in the worst way.
I want you in the worst way.
I want you in the West Wing.
In the West.
I never want to watch that.
You're like, that show sounds inappropriate. So anyways, so Rusty, his son, when things are going haywire, he's like, I told you that we should have gone to Hawaii, which is really funny because in the first movie, they're trying to figure out where to go, and they end up going to Wally World, which is basically like Cedar Point, essentially.
Yeah.
Or like Disney World or something, it's like that kind of thing, basically. But he's like, no, I want to go to Hawaii, and then they end up driving to Wally World, which is, of course, another disaster, obviously.
Gosh.
But it's just interesting that he brings it up again, which another thing, because Allie and I at work, we were talking about this, because we've seen all of those movies. The siblings are always different actors.
That's weird.
Well, what I was thinking, because we were talking about it, I was like, that is really weird and annoying, honestly. But then I was like, well, they have to age.
Well, that's the
right?
thing.
Like, so
the
they
first
have to age. You know what I mean?
Well, the first movie came out in '83, and this movie came out in '89.
Oh. Never mind. Allie, I'm not sure.
Allie, do some research.
I don't have the answer to everything, kid, okay? It might seem
damn
like
near.
It, but
damn near.
But, not
but
quite
there are
everything.
some things that are alluding to us all.
What are you doing? I got a Sharpay right here.
I really appreciate the mic work, though. I was going to mention it.
I'm really
later,
doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Appreciate
I'm taking everything in stride right now. Oh my god. So yeah, so those are the fun facts. Some of the stuff in here, like I said, it would be cool to watch the other ones if you like this movie.
Yeah.
Because they're still just as good. The top ones for me are going to be like just normal, National Lampoon Vacation, and then European Vacation is hilarious, and then Christmas Vacation. I think there's a Vegas
wild
one, but
that there's
trash.
so many, there's so much continuity between the movies.
100%.
Which is really
yeah,
cool.
100%.
Oh, that's awesome.
Also, too, never mind. It's worth a watch, anyways.
Okay.
So we start the movie really.
Yeah, we're getting into part one here.
And it's a good. We talked about this the other day. Actually,
Yeah.
I think it's a really good way to start the movie because it has like a little bit of everything in about 15 minutes.
Honest to God,
which is cool, right?
Yeah.
So like they're driving in the car, like that's like how it starts.
Starts off with all
and they're
of them in
singing
the car.
Christmas carols, and
Cute.
it kind of sets the tone that they're a family and like blah blah blah. Then it gets like, they family bicker in the car like any other family would on a long car ride.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to find a Christmas tree. And this is a time period where because I did this before with my dad.
Yeah.
You go to there and you pick a tree out, but you have to physically cut this bitch down.
Yeah.
You got to bring your own saw. You know what I'm saying? And you cut it down.
Wild.
Yeah. So that's what they did. So they're driving along, and then they kind of get a road rage situation with a guy from Jeepers Creepers.
Literally.
I'm just kidding.
This is creepy.
But if anyone's seen Jeepers Creepers, the
It's
giant
exactly
disgusting
that.
truck he has, and he basically runs them off the road. Yeah, very good.
I'm just
he runs
freezing.
them off the road. Then they keep basically going back and forth, trying to
a very dad thing to do.
for sure. And he's I wouldn't necessarily he has passive aggressive road rage. He's not super blatantly a dick, but he's also being sassy. And then finally is not paying attention. He tries to merge over to get around this guy, doesn't realize there's a semi truck next to him carrying lumber. And he goes under the truck, Paul
under
Walker
the
style.
truck.
Paul Walker style, definitely Fast and
P-Walk,
Furious
yeah.
situation. He goes under there.
But it's a
freaking out.
Ford Taurus.
Right, exactly. Wagon, which is sexy.
Wagon.
And he gets under that car, and then he ends up swerving back, trying to get out of there, running up, going over into like a ramp, going into the Christmas tree lot.
The nursery,
Right.
if you will.
And they get all the way there.
And then they just start hiking through the wilderness.
Literally hiking through in jeans, by the way. They've got
Which is
in the
wild.
movie too, it's the snow is probably up to their hips.
Very Ben circa 2010.
Yeah, dude, you get to stand those things up on their own when you get home because they're frozen solid.
Literally.
And they finally get to the tree. He's like, oh my God, this is an amazing tree. And I did think, even the first time I saw this movie, I do remember thinking, that tree is huge.
Huge.
Unless you have, a gymnasium, a house size, this thing isn't going to fit in there. But he's like, yeah, we're going to get this tree. Everyone's like, I don't know, it might be too big. And he uses the word,
like,
it's just full.
It's a
very
full
tree.
Yeah.
So he's about to cut it down, and then he realizes that they never brought the saw. Very typical Clark thing to do. Yeah.
Hike through the winter wilderness, and they don't have a saw. So what do?
They literally pull it out of the ground with their car.
Roots
which
and
also,
all.
too, when I think about that, I'm like, there's no way your car would have made it through the snow
No
to
way.
get to that tree.
They did it with
But
their
fine.
with their bare
No, dude,
hands.
Taurus it's a fine automobile.
It is
You
a
know what I mean?
workhorse.
It's
if
it
you're
is.
asking me,
She's all steel. You know what I'm saying?
full metal frame.
Yeah, dude. Four-wheel drive.
My gosh! Everyone in my high
nasty
school had a
suspension.
Ford Taurus.
My friend Kevin had a Taurus. That was his first car, too. It wasn't a wagon, but
What
it was
What color?
gray.
My first crush in high school had a silver Taurus, and my good friend Tyler had a black Taurus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was 3 or 4 other Tauruses at our school,
It's a good car.
in my grade.
It's an easy car. Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah. And we had the Taurus like theirs, where it wasn't the round bulbousy Taurus.
Yeah.
We had the boxy, cool Taurus, the 80s Taurus.
Super cool.
It was crazy. But yeah, so anyways, they pull the tree out of the ground. It's really funny because as they're driving away too, they've got a smaller car. I would refer to it as, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And it's longer than their car, and the vines are
Hanging the
roots are hanging off the back of the
hanging
car.
off the front, hanging off the
Just
back.
dirt all over them. It's hilarious. Anyways, they get home. They're, you know how when you buy a real tree, they wrap it for you. So you like wrap it in twine and like so that it stays like narrow so that you can move it around. So then like they set the tree up. It's obviously too big for their house immediately. Like the height, I would say it's about 3 feet too long.
Yeah. We're yawning all on this episode. Sorry. We had a very busy day so far.
Yeah, they set the tree up, and again, they're like, I don't know, this tree is pretty, it's pretty big. It's kind of full. He's like, it's just a full tree.
Yeah.
So he like takes scissors, and you can see the tension on the like rope, and he cuts it, and this thing just like unfolds. Yeah, like it just cascades down, right? Like, and breaks through 2 windows. Like, it's insane. And then I think he trims the tree. You don't see it in the movie, but it definitely looks smaller later.
He trims it down a good amount.
And it's kind of funny because I remember when that happens, he gets like lost in the tree because it like opens up on him, and then he's like, a lot of sap in the tree, and it's like, oh, gross. But then they're like laying in bed after that, and like he's like trying to flip through a magazine, and the page is just ripping off and sticking to his
stuck
hand.
to all of them.
Yeah, dude. And even at the end of that scene, like he tries to turn the lamp on, the lamp sticks to his hand. His wife's hair is on the other hand. Like, it's so funny. But they're like laying in bed and they're just talking, and he's like, and his wife's like, oh, so and so is coming too, and he's like, great, that's great. And his wife basically is kind of implying that, like, hey, there's like a lot of people coming now, and like we really don't have to do this. Like, we can back out. So, and like the thing is that kind of sets the tone for who Clark is as a person too. Is Clark's like, no, I want to do that because Clark wants a big family Christmas.
Yeah,
he wants like he wants to be the guy,
Christmas.
like the dude that has the Christmas, pass the torch on to him. He's hosting Christmas. He wants everyone to be there. It's exciting for Clark. He's definitely like a family man. You know what I mean? For
definitely super big family man.
Right. So like when that happens too, like I said, they have that out. So then it like that's whatever, fine. The last part of that first half of that movie is basically like Clark is at work and he's like talking to his pal at work, like his coworker, and he works like a big corporation. I think he works in the cereal department, like eating the cereal you eat.
Yeah.
And he does like tech for the cereal department. And
which is like weird, but also it makes sense.
That's probably a real job for sure. Yeah, definitely. Really weird job, but
R&D for cereal, research and development.
Yeah, literally though. Yeah. And basically he like confides in his friend, and he has like this little pamphlet, and he's like, hey, like I'm just going to show you this. I'm putting in a pool for my family.
So cool.
Yeah, because they get Christmas bonuses every year. Yeah. So like just like a lot of people, like so they just rely on that. So he basically says that I'm going to put this pool in. It's like a bean-shaped in-ground pool. It's nice. But he does say, too, that he already like had to put the deposit down.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. This is all my fault.
Okay. Put the deposit down.
Yeah.
And basically, like, he can't afford it if he didn't get the bonus.
Yeah.
But he put in the deposit on because he wants his family to be there. And he, like, throughout the movie, he kind of daydreams about the pool. Like, he's
super pumped about the pool.
He's super stoked. Like, that's his, like, gift to himself.
Well, yeah, like what else to daydream about during the holidays? Like, oh, I can't wait until it's warm and I get to like enjoy this pool.
Exactly. That's a good point too. So yeah, so that's like it kind of sets the premise for the movie, right? So they're get the tree. It's kind of a disaster, but it works out. So you kind of dip your toe in for a second to see what it's going to be like. It's kind of an omen, let's say, right? And then also too, like it sets the stage for who he is as a person and like what is going to end up happening.
Definitely.
For Christmas for them.
It's a great kind of like setup for Christmas.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So, did you guys ever well, first of all, you have a decent sized family.
Yeah,
say.
like
Not
extended family,
yeah.
or
extended,
yeah.
So when you were a kid, did they all get together or no?
So we would have Wallace family Christmas and Schultz family Christmas.
Separate.
Yeah.
Would they be on the same day?
No.
Oh, okay.
Almost never.
Okay. Would it be like Christmas Eve and Christmas situation then, or what?
No. So honestly, what we would do, well, like I can kind of describe it like this year. So this year, we're having Wallace family Christmas. My mom's side of the family, we're having like a luncheon
Okay.
on the day before Christmas Eve. So December 23rd, which is a Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
So we're doing that together as a family. We're all getting together. We used to obviously like exchange presents and stuff,
Right, of
and
course,
do all
yeah.
that. When we were younger, like everyone would buy everybody presents, and then we got a little bit older, and now we were like, you like pick someone's name and you buy for them specifically. I don't even know if there's going to be presents this year. I have not been told, so.
Okay, that's cool.
I have not bought presents for anyone in my family, so we're going to get together and stuff, so that'll be the day before Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve will be just our immediate family. Christmas Day is usually our immediate family, and then we might have like a grandma or two over for dinner.
Sure.
I think this year it might just be just us the entire time, which
That'll
would be
nice.
really cool.
That'll be really nice.
And then I think Schultz family Christmas is like the week after. I think like December like 30th. I think we're doing something at my grandma's house.
So it was always like that when you were looking?
Always.
That's cool. Yeah.
Separate, both sides of the family doing stuff. We had tried to do it as close to Christmas as possible, sometimes it'd be like a week before, a week after. It was always dope when we were kids, and it was the week before. Because it was like, oh, it's not even Christmas yet, and I'm getting Christmas. This is sick.
Yeah, you're getting those pre-presents.
Super fun.
Yeah.
Wallace family Christmas was always at like my Aunt Amy's house, generally speaking, in Rochester.
Sure.
And then Schultz family Christmas is either at my Uncle Phil and Aunt Laura's house in Rockford, which is on the west side of the state, or at my grandma's house, which used to be in Detroit, and then she moved out to Livonia. I much prefer her Detroit house, but it's good to see her in Livonia.
Sure. Yeah, that's cool. That's very good.
Heck yeah. What about you? What did you guys do?
Well, when I was a kid, it was a bigger affair. My family was big back then, right? So people get old, right? So like, but when I was a kid, it was always like we were the only. It was always typically my parents are divorced, so typically what would happen is
2 Christmases.
Literally, yeah. So typically, like I feel like my mom typically had us Christmas Day.
Yeah.
So we would do like my mom's side of the family, which was a big Italian family. So like that was always really fun. And I think it's like different as a little kid, right? Because like you get tuckered out fast. Ugh. So like you're excited. People are saying hi to you. You're eating and like playing around because I had my brother Anthony. So like we were playing around, running around and doing that kind of stuff in my aunt's house. And you get presents and then you get like desserts and you get all these things.
Dude.
And then you just pass out on the in the bedroom with all the coats on the bed. You know what I'm saying? Like
Very you.
Yeah, dude. Like an angel. So that's what I would do. And then my dad's typically we would go to my grandma's on his side's house and we would hang out with his side of the family. I felt like on his side of the family there were a ton of children.
Yeah.
So I didn't feel like a special guest. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like you got just your presents and stuff, but it was not. It wasn't the same. I guess I always definitely preferred my mom's Christmas, like always to this day.
Yeah.
Over that, but it was still really fun. And then we would do like Christmas at my dad's, like our like prime, our like own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And my dad also which actually is going to lead me to the next question for you. But my dad also, he's like a huge Christmas tree person. Like you've been to my dad's house on Christmas. He has my dad's house is huge. He probably I don't know. He probably has 5 Christmas trees
easily.
Yeah, he's got one that's like astronomically large, like in the center of his house. He has really tall ceilings.
Yeah.
And then he's got like mini ones, and he has like some outside. Like he's like
wild.
Yeah, like it's they just get into it and they really decorate the house. It's cool. It's excessive to me, but but it's cool. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to put all those trees up. Like this tree took Nev and I an hour or whatever. Like, and I'm super good after that.
Oh,
like
decorating your dad's house would be a multiple day. It would be like a week to decorate all that.
And then it's like getting it down, putting all of it out, and then be like, okay, where's it gonna go? And then you have to put all of it back, like, and find it's just so much work. But it was super nice. It looked really nice. He did a good job. But with him, when I was little, we used to do the real tree because my dad lives in Davisburg, which is like up north. So he lives in the middle of the woods. So we would just go and find a tree and cut it down. You know what I mean? Yeah, like a nice big tree. You know what I mean? And again, that was its own good experience, and especially because up north, like you have more snow, so there was more like sledding and tobogganing and discs and blah blah blah. Ice skating. He lives on a lake, so we'd ice skate all the time. Like, so it was more like wintry.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that was cool. And then my mom typically, back in the day, she had a fake tree pre-lit that was really nice. She did a great job on it. And then she kind of transitioned into real trees.
That's weird. I generally don't see people like going that
Paul
direction.
likes real trees.
Yeah.
Her partner, and he actually this year though they didn't, because like apparently like trees are hard to find right now and they're kind of expensive.
Which
doesn't surprise me at all. Yeah. So they've got a pre-lit tree, but apparently it's really beautiful.
That's so sick.
She said it's about the same height as this one, but it's wider.
Okay.
Which, yeah, that's cool. She has way more ornaments than I do, too.
Fat daddy tree.
Yeah. It was just awesome. Crazy strong tree.
I want a tree, but Frankie would just climb it like
Maybe,
a tree. Oh, my God, I know it, dude. I have one fake tree, and she chews it to
There's
Kingdom
this
Come.
Thing that you could do, because I was thinking about this, that my stepmom does, that I actually do think is nifty. She does a chandelier tree. So she gets a mini tree, flips it upside down, puts it on the ceiling, and decorates it like that, and it's really cool.
But my ceilings are like this. I wouldn't be able to like attach it like this.
Kitchen.
Where in the kitchen?
I don't know. I'm just trying to help you. I'm just trying to help you out right now. Just put it in the garage, dude.
You can put a real one out there.
Put it in the garage. Put it in the front yard.
That
would be
is an
cool,
idea.
honestly. Yeah, but you couldn't put ornaments out there.
Says who?
I would steal all your ornaments.
You would just drive up. I'd
have like a little
camera.
bag, and I would just put them in there.
Like the Grinch.
Yeah, dude.
You
exactly.
Are. Oh my God.
What about you guys? Did you guys have a real tree or fake?
Always real tree.
Oh wow.
And I
okay.
can't remember who it is. Either my mom or my dad. I think my mom always had a fake tree, and my dad always had a real tree. So
sure.
Obviously, we always have a real tree.
Of course.
But yeah, we always have a real tree. My parents just bought it, and my parents like swear by Home Depot trees.
I know.
They always get their tree from Home
Depot.
Depot.
When you were
It's
playing
really
bells
nice.
about it. Yeah.
It's so funny. But they're always really great trees. They really don't lose a lot of their needles. Like they're always just like really solid, big trees. My parents actually bought the tree. They were like, okay, we need like a between 7 to 8 foot tree because we have 8 foot ceilings.
Right.
They end up getting this tree, and it was like almost 9 feet tall. So they had to hack off the top and then reshape the top so it looked right. And it looks great. I would have no idea they did that unless they told me.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's very
They did
impressive.
a great job with it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Do they put a star on the top of their tree, or what do they put on the top?
I think it's an angel.
Yeah.
We're very Christian about
Christian.
it. Yeah, we put an angel on the top.
I need to get a topper for my tree, but it's so tall.
Yeah, there's no room.
Well, I could push that part down and then put it on there.
Pooch it
What I was
down.
thinking about doing, honestly, is getting a really beautiful, large picture of Nana and putting like a little clip on it and just clipping it to the top. I think that would be really cute to have her up there. She would look really nice up there.
She would. She's laying over there
She's
right
a great
now.
Pyrenees.
She is a great. There's a lot of good Pyrenees out there, but she's a great Pyrenees. I will never get over that joke. Moving into the Christmas festivities for the Clark family, or for the Griswolds. Clark is his first name.
Clerk.
I have not seen this movie as often as Chase has, so I'm going to be reading off my phone here because I took notes.
Unprofessional.
So all the family gets over there. Like both sides of the family are coming over. They're all staying at the Griswold's house. Like Clark is like kind of in his like element. He's
For
like,
sure.
well, I'm going to park
Yeah.
everyone's cars and everyone's got a place
the luggage.
to stay.
Yeah,
The brother and sister have to share a room. Like it's just kind of starts getting wild. They just start really kind of packing everybody in there. Everyone kind of like settles in and like everyone's happy to be there, and then Clark's just like, all right, like I'm gonna start decorating the house
Right.
now that everyone's there.
So
he goes
weird.
outside and starts
So weird.
decorating the house. It's like a week before
We're talking
Christmas.
like he's putting lights on the house too.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
it's like,
not a lick of decoration
Yeah,
out there. And
so
he's like
weird.
he's talking, he's like he has like 27,000 lights and they're from like Italy or something. And he's
Of course.
like super pumped about like hanging them all up. He like gets them all up, and of course he gets his little boy. What's the boy name?
Rusty.
Rusty.
He
gets poor Rusty out there. He's helping him. They've got like, reindeer, Sinterklaas. He's up on the roof, like stapling these.
It's like a whole production.
It's like, it takes like a couple days, but
100%.
basically they get everything together. He gets all the family out and he's like, all right, we're about to light a drum roll. And he like plugs in. Nothing happens.
No power.
Big surprise, dude. He's like trying to figure it out. He's like getting so bummed. And it's like another couple of days where he's trying to figure this out.
Sure.
Turns out it's like plugged into one of those outlets that's controlled by like a light switch in the garage. So he's like, why the hell isn't this working? Why isn't this working? Why isn't this working? Ellen, the wife, goes in and she's like looking for something in the garage. She just like flips this random light switch and the entire house lights up. And it's like, you can see it from space. Like it blows the skin off of Clark's face.
When he does that too, remember how the power grid goes down? Like
Yeah. They have to like
Chicago.
turn on like, there's a scene where it like shows the power grid and they flip on like emergency nuclear power. and like all the power comes back. It's funny. But like, it's just like so bright. And he's like, everyone come outside, come see it, come see it, come see it. What's her real name? Ellen. Ellen flips the switch off, leaves the garage. She's like, oh, it happened. Flips the switch off, runs out there. They all run out there. Of course, the lights aren't on because the switch was flipped. And she's like, duh. So it's just like, of course, you know, the antics of all of that and like just trying that out. And it just literally doesn't work. It's so funny.
She figures it out.
Yeah. Finally, they all kind of like get on the same page. Like, okay, you flip this, it turns on. They're all just kind of marveling in the, you know, in the lights, and it just kind of goes down. Everyone's kind of looking, and it shows Clark. He's looking out of nowhere. Cousin Eddie just walks up and he's like, wow, this looks really good. And like, you kind of like, what the fuck? Like, you were not invited. Why are you here?
Yeah.
Turns out his cousin of theirs, Cousin Eddie, his wife, his 2 kids, they just like drove their RV over, and they're like, we wanted to keep it a surprise.
They're hillbillies. They're like, they're super
bilties.
They're country. They're a little country.
A little bit country, a little bit western.
Little rock and roll.
Little rock and roll. I like could not imagine being like just showing up randomly. Like, I know for a fact my Aunt Laura would beat the piss out of me if I ever tried to do that. Just like show up at her house, be like, hey, surprise, we're here.
Yeah.
She'd be like, absolutely not, young man. Just like, it's funny, like randomly showing up. So they're there, and it's just like, you know, they end up having their kids like staying in the house.
Right.
And then Cousin Eddie and his wife stay out in their RV, and they're just like being kind of gross RV people, and they end up like just dumping all of their like gray water and stuff.
Their sewage.
Not even into the sewer out front, but like a storm drain out front.
Yeah, if anyone doesn't know, you can't put toxic waste into the drain outside of your house. That's for rainwater.
Definitely.
That's all it's for.
So it's just like, it just kind of shows like the kind of people they are. Cousin Eddie and Clark they go to like a grocery store, and they're just like talking about how Eddie's like, yeah, we got no money. Like, we live in this RV. Like, I'm not going to be able to give, you know, presents to the kids. And it's just like this really like depressing thing. But the entire time they're talking about it, he's just like dumping groceries into Clark's basket to like buy him like groceries
like literally
for the week.
Every kind of different dog food.
So many kinds of different dog food for one dog.
For its life, for the rest of its life.
Diarrhea forever?
Dysentery.
So it's just like really like awkward. Then he's like, oh yeah, we have no money, no job, no prospects, buy me all this food. So it's just like weird, and like, you know, Clark is still just trying to make the best out of it, and like you know, a day or two pass, and they wrap some presents, and he's like trying to hide them in the attic, and he ends up going up into the attic, and someone just like walks by and sees the ladder down, like, oh, why is the ladder down for the attic? And they like lock him in the attic, and he's just kind of being pretty bummed about it. He's just like, I'm trying to do all this nice stuff, and like it just keeps going wrong. The decorations took so long. I got locked up in the attic.
It's freezing up there too.
Yeah,
obviously.
I mean, it's like an attic. Yeah. So he ends up just kind of finding a bunch of like clothes to keep himself warm, and he finds his box of like family movies. Yeah, he had like a headscarf. It's what like a mink
like
coat.
long like silk gloves.
Oh my gosh,
he looks fabulous. He looks fantastic.
He's dressed for the night, you know.
Yes.
He ends up finding like a box of like old, you know, home videos, and
like
kind of relives what Christmas is about, and he kind of gets more pep in his step. He's like, all right, this is why I'm doing it. This is good. Like, we're gonna do this, you know. Kind of just gets back into it.
Sure.
Which is like weird though, because when he gets locked up in the attic, the rest of the family goes out and does more Christmas shopping. It's like 2 days.
It's a weird Christmas tradition in this family. Like, it's very strange. Everything seems very last minute.
So last
minute.
But
also well planned, because like they planned all these people be there.
Yeah.
It's very like Kevin McAllister's family, where like, okay, so and so's staying with this person in their room. We're gonna do, you know, like it's a really organized operation, but it's also not. Yeah, it's weird.
Wild.
It's very weird.
All this is just happening like before like actual like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. So that kind of starts the beginning of like part 3, the beginning of the end. But before we get into that, it's funny because literally, I mentioned it while we were watching the movie, when he's like watching like home videos from Christmas, and so we had, I think it was mainly my mom. My mom had like a camcorder, and she's recorded a couple of our Christmases.
Sure.
And we have one Christmas in particular. We talked about this Christmas in our episode about the movie Toys.
Yeah.
But I have on video when I got my most favorite like Christmas gift I've ever had. And it's my Darth Maul lightsaber when I was a kid. We have that on video of me unwrapping that, and it was just like the coolest thing ever. So we have all these home videos, and like we watched it a couple years ago. We watched them all together. It's like really cute.
That would be really nice. Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
I want to digitize them all and give them to my parents. But
Well, now you just ruined the gift because they're going to listen.
Okay, they're going to... Okay, this episode's coming out in December. They'll listen to it in February.
Okay, whatever.
They're very far behind in our
Come
episodes.
on, man.
Hey, it's not me. Did you have like any home videos like that? Obviously, you have a lot of like really great memories about it. Did you have any like videos?
The only ones that I was thinking about, because after we talked about that, I was thinking about it more. I think the only ones that I can really remember are at my dad's. He had a like video, like with the cassette thing, like where the tapes, you know, and he would take ones when we were young, like super young.
Yeah.
I don't remember watching him though. I remember him doing it, but I don't remember watching it.
Joke's on you. He had no tapes. He was just like,
like yeah,
smile for
totally.
the camera.
Like, totally. Plenty of pictures, you know what I mean?
For sure.
But
I've seen a lot.
A few of them are on my fridge,
pictures.
actually, yeah. But no, I don't think we did a ton of home videos.
Okay.
I feel like we were more just like taking photos and mingling, and you know, it was always like a very social. You know, especially with my mom's side of the family, it was really social.
For sure.
So, no, I don't see that. I mean, I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I have a terrible memory, so that's possible.
I feel
but,
you on that. My goodness.
Yeah, but I think for the most part, no. I didn't have a ton of that kind of stuff. I think it'd be really cool if I did. Yeah. You know, just like for like later on in life, like it'd be cool.
It would be nice.
I do feel like for some reason my mom has like old ones, like of her life or my grandma's, but I don't remember if that's true either. That also could be a complete fabrication.
Fabricated. Not real. Made up.
We made it up.
Oh my gosh.
How much would it take for you to spend a night in a graveyard?
Oh my god. Do you drink
monkey
coconut?
God.
Okay, so in regards to Christmas shopping and Christmas decorating, are you like the Griswold family where it's kind of like last minute, or do you try to like pre-plan and get stuff up as quickly as possible?
It's circumstantial.
Yeah.
It depends. Last year I felt like really unorganized.
I feel you on that.
You know, I felt like I was doing it probably the last week or two.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah, I would say so. I still did really well. I'm a good gift giver.
You're an incredible gift giver.
So I did pretty well. But it was really last minute. This year, I feel really prepared because I don't know if other people.
I don't know what the hell that noise is.
Other people know this or not because I just like found this out this year. But like you can make lists on Amazon, right? So like you can literally just make like a list and say, "Hey, this is for my brother," and you could be like, X, Y, and Z on there. Add it to Anthony's list. Add it to Mom's list. Add it to Nev's list. Add it to Ben's list. Like you can. So that's what I did. But over the course of like a couple months,
it's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I spend my immediate people I hang out with, I spend a good amount of time with. So like so I try to pay attention, and then you just put it on Amazon. That way I don't forget because again I have a terrible memory. So like it's just in this thing. I don't have to get everything that's in the list. You know what I'm saying? But like
it just gives you like a list of ideas that you can choose.
Gives me a map, like to just be like, okay, these things that you might even forget that you said, I can get these now, and I feel good about that. You know what I'm saying? So this year I felt like I was really prepared for it. But I am a good gift giver. I do like giving gifts to people. Mm-hmm. I think that I feel like I'm grateful that I have a smaller tribe per se. Yeah. Because then I can really focus on people, that I want to give gifts to.
Makes it a little easier.
We were like writing out, like, because we were trying to be more organized, we were writing out like everyone we had to, Nev and I were writing out everyone we had to get gifts for. Mm-hmm. And like, I have like 5 people.
I have the same thing. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I have 6.
Then Nev has, I'm not even kidding you, Nev has like 15.
Oh,
and it's like
exhausting.
And in my head, I'm like, dude, because I'm just a bastard. Apparently, I would be like, if I haven't seen you in 3 months, you're not getting a gift.
No,
I'm sorry.
You're out.
Like, there's no like. I'm sorry. Like that's crazy. Like that is like I don't want one from you either. If I haven't seen you in 3 months or longer, I'm good. We don't have to. I'm not saying I hate you or anything. Like, I still love you, but like, no, there's no reason for that. Let's not do that to each other. You know,
seriously.
But no, she's got a ton of people in her family that she wants to buy for because she's like a good person. So, you know what I mean. So I'm like, yeah. So then we just kind of like wrote them all out and then like subcategorize and be like, okay, what are you gonna get for so and so, and like write it all down. That way everything's organized. But yeah, like usually I try to get it as organized as possible because also it's not even just like waiting to the last minute. It's a lot of money then.
Dude.
If you're buying like gifts for, let's say, even 5 people, let's say you're buying a good amount of gifts for 5 people you love, and you do it in a week, you're going to spend $1,000.
Exactly.
For sure. Like 100%. There's no way around that unless you want to give them like gifts, like you make your own gifts or whatever, which again, who's got time for that? If you have a week left, you won't have time for that. Ugh. So like you're spending almost $1,000. So like, or more depending on the gift giver you are and like what they want. Right. So like there's just certainly, oh my God, I can't wait to give you guys your gifts.
I'm so excited too. Ugh. Speaking of, I literally sat down. I was having a bad day, so I sat down and added a bunch of stuff to my Amazon cart, and it was like 16 things. Oh, it was
perfect.
No, not to my list, to my cart, and I like bought everyone's gifts.
Oh, I see.
Like it happened a couple nights ago. I was like, and buy, and I was like, this is for 2024 Ben to figure out.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, but no. So yeah, I would say that. What about you?
I mean, I am a very like prepared person. I like to like just get everything out of the way. I hate last minute, but I'm very successful with last minute situations because like the pressure's on and I'm like, well, I have to just deliver and it's fine. I have to do it. But like I already have bought almost all of my Christmas gifts. They're all coming like within the next 3 to 4 days.
Nice.
So it's like, dude, I have to keep like 2 cameras on my front yard so no one comes and steals these gifts off my porch. But
I know, dude,
that scares me so badly. If anyone does that, you're dead.
But
I
keep my boxes too.
I should do that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited. I got everything. I'm a planner. This year I'm not decorating my house, which I feel kind of bad for, but I just moved in a couple months ago and I'm like, I got to get like my,
it's an investment too.
Me. Yeah. But yeah, I'm a planner. I'm a prepper. I got everything. Like I feel really good about what I have going right now. I feel it's going to be good.
Yeah. That's good. That's great.
Kind of me. Do you want to get us into the nightmare?
The nitty gritty?
Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Shit is wild.
Okay. So the lights are up, everybody's doing good, and they're starting to, it doesn't really show you this, but I'm just going to give you an idea of how this is going to go. So
pop off.
Their tree set up. They're starting to make food for dinner, blah, blah, blah. So they have a few other guests come, which is going to be Aunt Bethany and Uncle Lewis, which are very elderly people. So they're Clark's aunt and uncle. So, like, they're older than Clark, obviously, right? So, like, Aunt Bethany, though, is, like, completely and utterly succumbed to dementia.
Dude,
I mean, like, that's the best way to describe it. It is very tragic. To the point where, like, she doesn't know who anybody is, basically, and also accidentally wraps her own live cat as a gift for the family.
Great gift.
And wraps her Jell-O mold that she made Jell-O with that has her cat food in the Jell-O mold too, by the way. And that's leaking in a box. That's
vile.
Wrapped. Right.
Just having a hard time.
Just, you got to do what you got to do with people like that, right? So it's fine.
Seriously.
And then in the meantime here, while you're there saying hi and whatever, you also are noticing, because when you have a real tree, I don't know if other people have had a real tree before, so if you have a real tree, it's just like any other, like, you get a bouquet of roses, right? You still have to put it in a vase of water. Right, yeah. So with the tree, because you don't want it to dry out, because if it dries out, the pine needles will fall from the tree everywhere and make a mess. You have to fill this thing up with fresh water, and it's got to be filled. It's got to be refilled. Like, it's got to be changed out and refilled. Yeah,
sucking that water up.
It's a big thing. It's a commitment.
Yeah.
But it flashes to that, and Eddie, the dog that Eddie brought over with them, whose name is Snot.
That's about right.
Yeah, it kind of segues to him drinking all the water out of the tree.
Yeah.
Which, of course, like I said, is going to make the tree dry out rapidly. Anyways, so Then we get to dinner. Dinner is served. It's a beautiful
Christmas
setup.
Eve dinner.
Yeah, it's a huge table like the one we're at right now, actually.
Yeah.
And then they've got like a little attachment with like the card table
The
with
kids'
children.
table, yeah.
Yeah, like so there's just like anybody right is used to. Like I feel like I've had that as a kid too. Like especially at my dad's where there's like more children involved. Like
definitely.
that's just how it is. Anyways, they've got a beautiful turkey. It's like super golden brown, like perfect.
It's like picture
100%.
perfect. Yeah.
Like So before they cut this turkey, and it's like a big ordeal. They're like Aunt Bethany, the one that has dementia, basically. Like they're like can you say grace or a prayer? And she has a difficult time. And then she ends up just saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
Which
is hilarious because, like, certain people start standing up awkwardly, put their hand over their heart. Hats are being taken off. You know what I mean? Like, it's a whole thing.
So wild.
And then they say amen at the end. It's funny.
Been there,
So they're excited. They end up, like, they want to cut this cake. They want to cut this turkey. So Clark's hovering over the turkey with his knife and his fork. He cuts a center line down the middle of the turkey. The turkey opens up and just like emits steam and smoke. It was completely overcooked. It's dried out. There's not a piece of meat in there. Yeah, there's no meat in there. It looks just like a smoked skin of the turkey, basically. Which they end up actually still eating.
They just chew on it.
It's a very loud scene. They're chewing on it. You see like certain people dipping the skin in water.
Vile. Try to like rehydrate it.
Yeah, dude. So like,
Oh, it's so bad.
And it's pretty hilarious. So that being said, dinner is done. We're good. Everybody's good. And then basically what happens is Uncle Lewis, the man that is married to Aunt Bethany, he's like a big cigar aficionado. Like, so he has like literally, you see it. He has like a little like thing, like a carrier for like all his cigars, like a sleeve. Yeah. And I don't know how this is, well, it's 89, I guess. He just lights up a cigar in the living room, like no problem. Not even ask, that's totally fine apparently. And he's doing that, and as he's doing that, he accidentally lights the tree on fire, and the tree goes up like a wick with kerosene on it. I mean, like it goes up immediately because it's so dried out from the dog previously drinking the water that nobody noticed, right? So, and he's also caught on fire, and Clark has to rip like a curtain down, wrap him in it, and throw him to the ground. It's really ridiculous.
Put Uncle Eddie Uncle whatever his name is out.
Yeah, Uncle Lewis out.
The tree is just like bursts into flames and is just ash immediate.
Literally, and this is one of those things where like Clark kind of freaks out a little bit. He
starts getting kind of
he kind of freaks out because he's sick of this. Like things are there's now a thing that's gone right in the last probably 3 to 4 days. Honestly, really, I mean it's been relentless for him. You know what I mean? And he's losing his mind. And sorry, lost my train of thought for 2 seconds.
You're good.
So he freaks out. He goes outside with a chainsaw in the middle of the night and cuts down his neighbor's tree, basically.
He's just like, here's another tree.
Which also goes through their window. You know what I mean? But whatever. Anyways,
gets the new tree and they kind of like quickly decorate it. And he's like, all right,
throws
it's fine,
that
it's
up
done.
there.
We're good.
Yeah, he's good. And in the meantime, too, he lights a tree. So the cat that was wrapped in a gift, that cat, of course they let the cat out of the box. And that cat's wandering around the house, and you see it, it's kind of nibbling on the cords of the tree lights.
Yeah, it's like hiding under this chair, nibbling on the cables.
Yeah, well, it's plugged into the wall, so it nibbles it too much. The cat gets electrocuted to death, pretty much right on. It's underneath this chair, this like lazy boy chair kind of thing, and it gets lit up, it dies right away. The chair is ruined. Obviously, the chair is charred and ruined. They got to throw the chair out.
Yeah.
And there, Clark's taken to the curb basically, and while he's taking it to the curb, as we spoke about earlier, like he's looking down into the sewer because he's right next to the street.
Yeah.
And that sewer basically just has like this green glowing like liquid
gas,
which is just a chemical reaction basically, like with the sewage that Eddie's been pumping into the storm drain.
Vile.
That kind of is a precursor for what's eventually going to inevitably happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, right? He heads inside, and Aunt Bethany's sitting on the couch. She's like, "What is that noise? Like, what is that squeak noise?" Because remember, Clark just like barebacked his tree. Just gets it right
just drags his tree from
the outside. Yeah, right. You know. So she's like, "What is that squeaking?" And everyone's like, "I don't hear it. I don't hear it." And he's like, "No, I hear it too." And he's looking in the tree and he's looking through into the separating the branches,
in the bushes,
and he ends up finding this squirrel that just lunges out at him, and it's like a whole ordeal. I mean, like they're freaking out. Everyone's freaking out. They're trying to catch the squirrel.
Yeah. Squirrels running around the house. Everyone's freaking out about the squirrel. The dog finds out about the squirrel. The dog starts chasing the squirrel around. Squirrel's chasing the dog. It's just, I mean, one thing leads to another. They finally get the squirrel out of there. Honestly, right into the bosom of the next door neighbor, Elaine Bennis from Seinfeld.
I know.
She goes over and she's like, "I'm sick of this. I'm so sick of these people being so loud. I'm gonna go over there and give them a piece of my mind." She goes over there, opens the door, squirrel jumps on her, dog jumps on her, just all hell breaks loose. It's just wild, man. Nothing's going right for this poor guy.
No. So they finally get that taken care of, quote unquote.
As best they can.
They take care of it as best as they can. And then, so he's cleaning up. This is a huge mess because like the squirrel's going everywhere. People are freaking out. People are passing out. It's a whole thing, right? Like, so he's cleaning up and then someone knocks on the door.
Like, God, what could this be?
And he just, so he goes to the door and he goes, sees it, and it's a postman. And basically the postman is basically like, I have this letter for Clark Griswold. Got caught between my seats.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to deliver it yesterday, but like, I'm sorry.
Finally,
so he ends,
something good.
And it's just an envelope.
Yeah.
Like, it's just an envelope. And basically, like, Clark just, like, essentially, like, ignores this guy because he's been looking forward to this because this is his bonus check.
Yeah,
like for sure. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And everyone's like looking at him, and he's like, "Oh, it's coming." He opens the letter, and he's super quiet. And then his wife, I think she literally says like, "Oh, is it bigger,
it's more than we were expecting?"
Yeah, like just trying to be lighting
it out. Yeah.
And then he basically reveals that like it's not his bonus. His company decided to get rid of bonuses without telling anybody, and they have him like as a member of the Jelly of the Month Club. And
which is like cool,
but remember he already put a deposit on this pool that he can't afford at all. So like,
and now he really can't afford it.
So he just loses it. I mean, like he's venting to his family, and this is one of the fun facts that Ben was talking about earlier is like he's just cussing out his boss. I mean, he's just freaking out, and then eventually he ends up being, everyone's there, his whole family is there, and he's like, what I would want for last minute Christmas ideas, like I want my boss here, like I want to like basically just have him, like I want to, tell him off basically, you know what I mean, and then basically everyone just kind of like lets it ride. Like his family's like, hey, like, maybe we should go.
Dude, yeah.
And like he's like, don't go. Like, and his dad talks him through it, I would say.
Definitely.
And then he chills out. Like he does
like,
cool off.
It is what it is. It's Christmas
right.
Eve.
You know what I mean? You can figure it out, right? Like, of course. So that being said, like now he's like, all right, I'm gonna just do the family thing. I'm gonna read like, a Charles Dickens book, and like I'm gonna just and I'm just gonna wind down with my family and try to salvage this day.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? Like make it not worth nothing, let's say, right? Like, which we can all empathize with. Like, like sometimes things just don't go the way you think, but like you want to try to salvage, right? Like, of course, like especially with family, right? Like, of course. And as he's doing that, you see and you kind of don't even realize it honestly at first, but Eddie's missing. Cousin Eddie's missing.
What's going on here?
You don't really realize it. And they do a good job with that too. They do a good job with like just kind of letting him slide away. You know what I mean? And he's not a forgetful character either, which is like silly to me. So
wild.
So he pulls back up into the driveway in this RV, and you see him in the driveway coming up to the door with his boss that he kidnapped from
literally
his house,
hog-tied.
taking his like frustration literal.
He's like, oh, you want your boss? I'm gonna go kid him. Yeah.
So he like goes, grabs him. He's like tied up and stuff, like he, and whatever. And they just kind of like rip into his boss, and like the boss kind of sees, like, oh, these are real people that I'm affecting.
Yeah.
And like this is terrible, and I shouldn't have done this. Well, while they're doing that, like he's a super wealthy, like their boss is like a rich dude.
The head of this
so
company,
what that means is like the whole SWAT team of the police are coming down the neighborhood after after this family that they think are kidnappers. Essentially, they literally go through the windows, like they're belaying down into the windows, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like
literally,
and it's a whole fiasco.
Dude, it's wild.
And the boss, and then his wife shows up too. The bad guy, the boss's wife shows up, and she's like, "What is going on?" He's like, "I took away the bonuses," and she's like, "Are you kidding me? Like, that's a scumbag thing."
Immediately,
it's obviously like this is terrible that people rely on this. Like, this is messed up, right? Like, so for funny. Sure. And so basically ends up not pressing charges. You know
he's
what I
like,
mean? He's
like, this is you're right.
And I think he even adds 20%.
I couldn't remember his 20 or 40%. He's like, 20, whatever you got last year, there it is, plus that a little bit extra.
Right? And it's kind of a happy little ending there. And then they go back outside.
They're like, all right,
and
everyone kind of go your own ways.
Let's just get this over with now. Everyone's leaving and. Uncle Lewis, the pyromaniac, is standing next to the sewer. He again lights another cigar. If this isn't a slogan to not smoke, I don't know.
Seriously,
what is? It goes immediately up. Obviously, a huge explosion blows his head off or his hair off. Hitting the whole thing, and that basically is the last thing, right? The last straw. And then it just kind of segues into the commercial, the music, and then the movie starts to end. And it's like, oh my God, dude! Like,
well, it's funny because Aunt Bethany, she sees this big explosion, and in her cuckoo ass brain, she just starts singing the national anthem. Yeah, because she thinks it's fucking fireworks. Yeah. So everyone's just like, honestly, at this point, let's all join in. So they all just start singing the national anthem at Christmas, and it's like. Roll, fade to black, roll credits. It's done, dude. Like, we've done everything. This is just fucking crazy.
100%. It was a crazy situation.
Oh my gosh.
But a great movie. Hilarious. It was, like I said,
anything that
very
can go wrong
very
does
relevant.
go wrong. It's just great. Like,
geez, I very much enjoy it. Have you ever had an animal loose in your house more or no? Like a wild animal? Like a squirrel or something like that?
Not that I can remember. I think at one point in time, a squirrel came down the chimney. That's usually how it happens.
A squirrel?
Yeah.
Did it fall down or did it climb down?
I think it climbed down. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't really remember it. But something I do remember, I was sleeping. It was when I was living at my parents' house. I was sleeping and I rolled over in my bed and I opened my eyes. It's pitch black, but I see something in my bed and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then it hits my face and I'm like, oh hell no. I get up, I start losing my mind, and I was like, something's in there, and something just hit my face. I start freaking out. I run out of the room, close the door. My parents wake up because I'm like, I think it was right when I moved back from Minnesota and I was about to move into my apartment.
So
I was staying. Yeah. I was staying the night at my parents' house for a second or two. And I start freaking out. I'm like, something just hit my face. And my dad's like, it's a fucking bug. Go to bed. And I was like, that wasn't a bug. It hit my face and woke me up. Something crazy. So my dad's idea is he goes into the room, opens a window, puts my mom's 22-year-old cat in there and closes the door. And he's like, well, the cat will get whatever's in there out of there. I think it ended up being a bat. A bat
Ew.
got into my bedroom and hit my face.
Oh.
Could have given me rabies. Yeah.
That's wild.
So that's the only thing I remember. How about you?
I've had many animals in my house, which is kind of weird. Yeah. When I was in my own apartment, and I had a fireplace.
Yeah.
A bird flew into my apartment from it. It was, dude, the bird was just as confused as I was. It was literally.
Where did this come from?
Yeah, I opened the door wall and it was on my refrigerator, and the minute I opened it, it flew out.
Get out
immediately. Another thing that happened in the same apartment complex. This is the worst thing ever.
Oh no!
Is that I was hanging out with, I don't remember who. I was hanging out at the apartment, and my cat at the time, my late cat, she was trotting around the house. She never did that 'cause she was old when I got her.
Yeah.
So she was chill. I mean, she had energy, but she was not that kind of cat.
Yeah.
Trotting around. And I was like, what is going on? And I hear all this noise. I'm like, oh, God. This weird noise. I swear to God, it's like a movie. She literally looks up at me and just has this thing in her mouth and she just drops it. And it's a mouse. It's a real, just a live mouse.
Good girl.
And this thing, I mean, just things like that.
He's just laying right behind you.
They're so fast.
Oh, shockingly
insane.
fast.
Yeah, right? So, we freak out. and I'm like on top of something, like you know what I mean. I don't remember how, but we did catch it live. And we did release it outside. Nice. I have no idea.
Couldn't tell you how, but it just happened by the grace of God.
Yeah, but we did. But it took an hour. That's like so it was funny. Like scary and gross. So it was like that kind of thing. But yeah, I've had that happen as well. Luckily, I've never had any rats or anything. That always freaks me out. You know what I mean? But no, nothing like that. Big.
But yeah, I always look at my camera in my backyard. It's always at like 4 a.m. It's either this really cute black and white cat that walks across my backyard or the biggest possum you've ever seen.
Oh yeah, monster. Like, it's a total monster.
Yeah,
yeah, dude. I was thinking you were gonna say a raccoon.
I have seen a raccoon or two in the back. Yeah,
Nana tried to save a baby raccoon that was outside my yard. It was very scary.
God bless her.
Okay, so do you think too, because of the pressure is really on Clark, for this, and I feel like no matter, because he keeps asking about his check, like he'll ask friends, like, did you already get your check, or did you already do this?
So about
do you think he jumped the gun getting that pool and putting the deposit on, or do you think like it was warranted because like let's say he's been in this company, I think he said like 10 or 15 years.
Yeah,
like he gets one every year, so it's like it's tricky.
I mean, it's safe to assume, but like I think honestly, when it's something like this, if it's gonna put you in the poorhouse if you don't have it, wait for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like if you can get like a line of credit and you're like, well, I'll figure out how to pay this off, like I'll just do a payment plan or something, that's fine. But if it's like money coming out of an account and it's gonna like bleed you dry, too early. Just wait. It'll happen. It's gonna happen. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like, don't, count your eggs before they hatch, basically.
Sure, I get that.
I think it was a little too quick.
It's tricky, though, because I feel like, on my end, I'm like, his assumption is warranted.
Yeah.
I understand how it would be. I think that it would be one of those, and they didn't tell them they were getting rid of him. So that's the other thing. Like a lot of times they'll be like, we're not doing bonuses this year, just so everybody knows. Like, you know what I mean?
Just like kind of be a little open about it.
I wouldn't say that I think he jumped the gun. I think that the only reason why I would say he jumped the gun is because of the added stress that it caused.
Exactly.
Not because he didn't get the check. It was because he literally didn't enjoy his Christmas as much as he could have, because he was literally checking the mail, waiting for the check, pacing the house, you know what I'm saying?
Just daydreaming
about
stressed
the pool,
about it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he basically, kind of what you're saying, but in a different way. He put his eggs in one basket. He was so excited about this pool that the basically ended up just being about the pool.
Yeah,
which is like
the cool gift he's getting his family. It's just like this pool. It's like no.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like it's a tricky situation, and it's a life lesson. You know what I'm saying? Like you would not do that again after that. You know what I'm saying? Even if you did get that 20% raise of the bonus, it doesn't matter. I want to know what his bonus was. I always think about that. Like, what do you think his bonus was?
Enough to get an in-ground pool. Can he fit? Is he doing good? He got through.
I don't know. Part of me feels like it was probably $5,000 back.
Yeah.
Like for a pool in the 89, yeah. Like I feel like that's like, because he probably had money still too, like so he really needed that too.
Well, $5,000 plus 20%, it's another $1,000.
That's legit.
Yeah,
that's legit.
That is crazy.
And then lastly too, speaking of Clark as a dad,
kind of wrap it up.
How was your pop during Christmas?
Again,
the old pep.
It's kind of like I said earlier. Like this very well could have been my Christmas movie if we didn't watch A Christmas Story first. Sure. Just because, like, my dad, like, oh, we gotta, these are the traditions, we're doing them, we gotta do it. Like, we're picking up the tree. This is what's happening. You guys, we're all in the same. Like, it's very like, this is what we've always done. This is what we're gonna do again.
Sure.
I think my dad is a little more competent than Clark Griswold.
Sure.
I would say a lot more competent than Clark Griswold, but he is still like, he's a dad's dad. Like, he's like, oh, we're doing this. I want all my family together. He's like, the man of the house.
Sure.
He handles everything.
Yeah.
I say that with a lot of respect for him. Like, I think he has his quirks, but he's definitely just more competent.
Yeah, that's good. Of course. That's good.
How about your pip-pap?
I would say that when we had Christmas with my dad, I would say that he was like that.
Very much.
Yeah, because again, we cut our own tree down.
Yeah.
He decorated a lot. My dad is, when I was a kid, was a great gift giver.
Heck yeah.
I had the dopest toys. Super sick. We talked about that during the toys episode.
Oh,
but I
yeah.
had some really sick toys. Any major toy in the 90s that was like, whoa, this is crazy. That's worth like $3,000 now. I had that as a child. And I just ran them into the ground.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like every console, every creepy crawlers, like everything, anything and everything. My dad would get me those things. And on top of that, not to mention, like, he would definitely play them with me.
That's really
always.
cool.
Yeah, like for sure.
It wasn't just like, here, kid, here's these toys.
Like go,
let's,
That's really cool. He even played video games with us. Like he was definitely
sick.
a good dad in that sense. You know what I'm saying?
That.
And that definitely makes Christmas feel more Christmassy.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that I will commend him for. My mom did great too, though. Like my mom, like, because I spent most of the time with my mom, I would say that like she also, though, traditionally speaking, she decorates the house really great. It's super tasteful. She's got like the music on. She's got the mistletoes. It's the whole nine. You know what I'm saying?
That's
it looks great. Like. And, we have the big stockings, and, like, she did fantastic. I definitely, as much as my dad was a good gift giver, I definitely preferred to be at my mom's for Christmas. Still. Yeah. But
it had that, like, homier feel.
And I'm just closer to her family.
Yeah.
Like, they were my real, not my real family. They were my family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I would consider them my immediate family, all of them. You know what I'm saying? So that's cool. So I would say that would be how I would describe it. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it was good.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, shit. In conclusion,
if you haven't already. Shame on you if you haven't already. We already warned you.
Okay, dog. My bad.
Shame on you. But watch the movie. Let us know what you think. Just tell us how you feel. Let us know.
Definitely.
And, I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope you enjoy the next one that we're doing.
Yeah, next one, kind of shake it up a little bit in classic The Dish fashion. Of course, we had to watch a horror movie. So we were choosing between Black Xmas and Red Christmas.
Yeah.
And of course, the classic Black Xmas won. So we're going to be watching that.
It's a great movie.
In real time, we're literally about to turn all this off, pack it up, and then eat some food and watch that movie literally right now.
It's a holiday horror. Holiday horror is the best.
Your favorite, bro.
I do love it.
Yeah. So tune in next week. We're going to be watching Black Xmas. Please watch it yourself. It'll be streaming on something, so just search it. Go on imdb.com.
I think it's on Tubi.
Yeah.
I want to say.
We'll look it up really quick. As of right now, where
also,
it is.
too, I'm pretty sure it's on Tubi, but it was one of those movies where it's like going to be gone soon.
Leaving soon, so watch it.
So watch it fast.
Yeah.
Because... Yeah.
Black Christmas, Black Xmas. AMC Plus on Prime Video channels, Freevee, Pluto, the CW, Roku channel, Tubi.
Yeah. So
it's everywhere, dude. You'll be able to find it. Watch
this one came out in 2006, so it's not super old either. Like,
golden
it's definitely worth it.
Decade for horror.
It is, yeah.
Dude, the 2000s for horror.
It's like the House of Wax era, you know. But yeah. So,
any final thoughts, my friend?
No, I'm excited to watch this movie with you tonight, and I'm excited to talk about this one a lot. There's so many cool scenes in this movie.
Oh, gosh.
So many.
Can't wait.
Unique. Very unique.
Unique New York.
Unique New York.
Ow. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And boom. So we've received our first audio submission from a longtime subscriber of the podcast, Gerard. We're trying this out. This is the first time we listened to it. I opened the message, but I have not listened to it.
Jared, if it's something inappropriate, I'm going to give you $20.
It's live on air right now. Let's see how this goes.
Yo, what up, Chase and Ben? You guys mentioned before that you want us to call in on Instagram and send you some voice messages.
There it goes.
Here I am. I got a question for you guys today.
Okay.
My question is, who is your favorite TV show protagonist of all time? Excluding Tony Soprano, because everybody knows Tony's the boy, Tony's the GOAT. But yeah, who's your favorite TV show protagonist? Hope your guys' holidays are going well, and shout out you guys for keeping everybody's Mondays interesting with the dish.
That's very nice.
Gerard, two things. One, don't record your questions while driving, actively driving.
He can do whatever
Be
he
a little
wants.
safer. Two, replace your taillight because your blinker's blinking real fast.
Yeah.
Favorite TV protagonist? That was the minute he asked the question, I knew it in my head. So if
Really?
you need a second, I can tell you.
You can do yours then. Yeah.
Dr. Gregory Q. House. He is like, that is a show like, yeah, The Office is awesome, yada, yada, yada. House is absolutely, like, I've actually been thinking recently that I really want to rewatch that. I love House. And like him as a character, he's so multifaceted. He's a brilliant person. He doesn't give a fuck about anybody besides like his like close core. He is incredible. He goes through so much. He survives so much. He's incredible. He is easily my favorite TV protagonist.
Is it TV only?
Yeah, he said TV.
Ooh,
It's gonna be tough.
This is gonna be really
He took away
hard for
Tonti
me.
from you,
I
so you
know.
gotta try.
That's so.
I have
cruel,
one for
Jared.
you
That's
if you want
very
me to
cruel.
tell you.
Well, let me see for a second.
Okay.
So TV wise, oh gosh. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
okay, actually this is okay, I know what it is. I'm
Easy,
sorry.
easy,
It's going to
easy.
be a group because they're a group thing.
Go ahead. The Power Rangers.
No. It's going to be Elliot Stabler and Olivia Benson from
Oh,
SVU.
come on now.
Don't even play
Come on
games, dude.
now.
The best team on TV, Olivia
Oh
Benson
my gosh, that's
and
so funny. I don't know, House and Wilson.
Elliot Stabler.
but go
I have
ahead.
them as stuffed animals.
You have them as stuffed animals. You
Yeah.
have them as pop figures. You
I
have
do,
them.
yeah.
You have them in multiple different media.
I love them.
Yeah.
I love them.
That's
They're
so
the best.
funny.
They're timeless. You know what I'm saying?
They
They're
are
friends in real
OGs.
life, dude.
Which is
They're a real life team.
Oh, I got mixed up. You don't have them as pop figures. You have the two from the X-Files as pop figures. I'm an idiot.
Oh yeah, I do have Dana Scully and
Yeah.
Fox Mulder.
Yeah.
Those are great ones too.
Sure.
But I would still say like on a constant basis, no way, dude. It's Benson and Stabler all day.
That's so
They protect
funny.
me from heinous crimes.
Yeah,
Jared.
dude.
Also too, when you're listening to this, tell us what yours is. Because
Yeah.
I'm very curious.
Message
now.
us.
Yeah.
I have to respond to you right now because funny enough, since we're so last minute, you sent this message to me today and we're recording the Christmas episode right
Yeah.
now. So that's really funny.
That
but
was a really good question.
great question.
Very, very good.
Guys, it's super easy. You just send us a voice memo on Instagram,
Yep.
The Dish with Chase and Ben, all one word. I won't open them, but when we, answer them, I want to do like one an episode if we can.
Yeah.
This is really cool. I
It
don't know.
was.
Am I going to put this in the episode or am I going to put this as its own little video? We'll
I don't
see.
know. Yeah, it's tricky.
We'll figure it out.
But
However
yeah,
you're watching
if
this,
you,
enjoy.
if you don't have an Instagram too and you have our numbers, you can also text us like a voice message.
Yes.
Because like I know my mom doesn't do that kind of stuff like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like for sure. But let us know. But that was really fun. And that was a great question. And let
Hopefully
us know,
y'all can
Jared,
hear it
what
enough.
your protagonist
Yeah.
is. I'm curious. Tony is the GOAT though, and you're right. And you get bonus points for that.
he really kind of did you dirty. It's like, how are you supposed
that
to
was
figure
like
this out
crippling.
now?
It
Yeah.
was crippling. Yeah. But no.
I was going to say the Batman from the animated Batman show.
because
Because you've been just going.
9 stars on IMDb. Outstanding show. Yeah, outstanding.
Absolutely incredible.
That was cool though. That was very good.
You know what? I'm going to do this as a little like extra bit at the end of
That'd
the
be
Christmas
cool.
episode we
Yeah.
just did. So yeah, ask us questions. We'll throw your guys' questions into the end of the episode. So
Definitely.
All right. Thank you so much, Gerard.
Yeah. Thank you,
Lovely.
and have a good night, good evening, good morning.
Gibby, 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 gibby.
Boop. I think I have it up.
Bang, bang.